Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Nasrin Padasalai. In today's video, we are going to study about the biostatistics for CSIR NET exam. You might be wonder how biostatistics is a separate unit for the CSIR NET exam, but in applied biology, that is unit 12 and unit 13, many people will skip this particular biostatistics. But every year in CSIR exam, you might expect at least one question from this biostatistics, and that question will be simple because I too will omit this particular biostatistics topic. But if you watch the entire video, you can score 4 marks if the question has been asked from biostatistics. And for your ease of understanding, I had handwritten the notes for you for easy understanding. And at the end of the video, I have also discussed the previous year CSIR solved question paper for you. In this video, we will be dealing with the chi-square analysis, p-value, probability distribution, and many more with respect to this biostatistics. And I had analyzed this one particular selected topic because this will be very much helpful for you students. And finally, five topic only, which is very important from exam point of view. So first thing is that chi-square test. There are various tests for significance, like we have Z test, which is ANOVA, T test, F test. So generally employed for the quantitative data like the height of plant, like that. But in agriculture and in genetics, one has to deal with the qualitative data like flower color, seed color, like that. So this chi-square is mainly useful for the genetic test to test whether the recorded data is in agreement with the Mendelian theory or not. You all know about Mendel's law of inheritance. So the purpose of chi-square is for analyzing the qualitative data, and this chi-square is mainly applied for agriculture related studies and to check whether the data coming from agriculture or genetics is in accordance with the Mendelian theory. It describes the magnitude of difference between the observed frequency and expected frequency. Okay, so this is a sign of this chi-square, and with the help and it helps us to find whether there is a significance is existing between the qualitative data or not. So this is a general formula where we need to apply the frequency of observed and frequency of expected, and we can determine the formula like that. So in CSA they won't ask the formula, but you should know. They will give a related condition like in genetics, which type of significance, which type of test is used for significance, like that they ask. So this is an example. This is one question asked. Choose the correct answer from the statements indicated below. First option is chi-square test is parametric. Non-parametric test assumes normal distribution. Results can significantly affected but outlier in parametric test. Non-parametric test is more powerful as compared to parametric test. Before going for answering this question, you must know what is meant by parametric and what is meant by non-parametric. Parametric technique means it have an assumption and it follow an assumption. Like if you are saying there is a you had incorporated a particular gene into a flower color, and you know the gene color is blue, and you are assuming like every flower blooming in that particular experimental field will have a blue color. Like that you will have an assumption and your result will be based on an assumption. Non-parametric test means we don't have any kind of assumption itself. Okay. So parametric test is used for large population, non-parametric is used for small population. And in parametric test, samples will be selected randomly. In non-parametric test, there is no random selection. Parametric tests are more powerful, but non-parametric tests are less powerful. In parametric test, the data should fit in the normal distribution. That is, there should be a bell-shaped curve where there will be outliers and all. But non-parametric distribution is generally not normally distributed. And also in parametric test, you need to know one previous knowledge, that is information about the population should be known. Okay, in non-parametric test, there is no such knowledge is required. Example of parametric test are your Z test, T test, like that. Non-parametric test are Mann-Whitney, Wallis test, like that. And also a chi-square also, because chi-square we don't know what is a qualitative phenotype itself. We are expecting, we find out the expecting value and everything. And in parametric test, the central tendency is your mean. Non-parametric test, the central value is that you will take a median value, whereas in parametric test you will take the entire mean. And the type of correlation is that parametric test will follow Pearson correlation and non-parametric test will follow Spearman correlation. So consider chi-square is a parametric. No, it is not a parametric test. It doesn't follow a normal distribution and it is a non-parametric test. Non-parametric test assumes normal distribution. No, it is false. Non-parametric test assumes a non-normal distribution. Results can be significantly affected by the outlier in parametric test. Yes, it is very much true. Results can be significantly affected by the outliers in the parametric test. Non-parametric tests are more powerful as compared to the parametric test. No, parametric tests are powerful when compared to that of a parametric test. Okay. Two groups, control and treated, are to be compared to test the effect of treatment. So we have a control and we have a treated. Okay. Since individual variability is high in both groups, what will be the appropriate statistical test? Okay. So only two groups is used. So analysis of variance, that is ANOVA, is not applicable. Since if we are using 3 or 4 groups, we can go for this analysis of variance. And student t-test is also be not employed since it is not a parametric, it is a non-parametric test. We don't know what is an effect of treatment. So this will also be deleted. This Kendall test will also be not parametric, it is a parametric test. Mann-Whitney, as I discussed earlier, it is a non-parametric and it is a correct answer. So two group, control and treated, can be compared to test the effect of treatment. The individual variability high, the appropriate statistical test is your Mann-Whitney test. Okay. The next thing is that correlation and regression analysis. So, in consider univariate analysis, only one variable will be involved. For univariate analysis, we have central tendency, measures of dispersion, skewness, kurtosis. Okay, but bivariate analysis means to know whether the relationship is existing between two variables. For example, if you consider blood pressure and age, if you are increasing in age, then blood pressure will also be high. Okay, correlation will helpful to assigning the strength of relationship between two variables. Whether there is a good strength is between two variables or not. Regression is a statistical method which helps us to know the value of unknown value of one variable for a known value of other variable. If you know one variable value of one variable, then other variable will be easily determined. So these are the methods of studying the correlation. We can do scatter diagram, there's a graphic method and coefficient correlation. The degree of correlation, that is correlation coefficient, is determined by R. If R is positive, that is +1, it is positive correlation. If R is -1, it is a negative correlation. If R is equal to 0, then it is a no correlation. And also regression analysis have two type of variable. One is dependent variable, another one is independent variable. So dependent variable means yield of wheat. Independent variable means fertilizer applied. So if we know what is the yield of wheat, then we can easily determine the value of fertilizer, that is amount of fertilizer applied. If there is more amount of apply fertilizer, then yield of wheat will be high. If it is lesser amount of fertilizer applied, then yield of wheat will be lower. So given below a set of statistical methods and parameter and their potential application and utility in biological research. Okay. First they had given a column A and column B. For variance, okay, variance, how we will determine, it is used to calculate spread of distribution. Correlation coefficient means it is used to determine the strength of association between two variables. Regression analysis means we can predict the value of dependent variable based on a known value of associated variable. That is, dependent variable is your yield of wheat, associated variable is your fertilizer. Chi-square analysis, it is used to calculate the deviation between your observed value and expected value. So skewness. So if you consider depression is coming, this person, it deals with the amount of variation of different values in a distribution. Okay. But skewness deals with the direction of variation, in which direction it is going. When you consider symmetrical distribution, it's nothing but your normal distribution. It follows a bell-shaped curve and we have mean, median, mode will coincide. And mean, median, mode are identical. Therefore, in symmetrical distribution, that is a normal distribution, mean, median, mode will be equal. Consider asymmetrical distribution, which is our skewed distribution. Mean, median, mode will fall at different point. Consider positive skewed distribution. The curve for this positive skewed will be skewed right. So here it is saying skewed. Okay. The value of mean will be more. Here you can see it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 5 is greater. So mean will be more. And long tail towards right. So here formula is mean will be greater than median and mode. Negatively means the value of mode is greater than mean. Okay, mode is greater whereas mean is in negative one. So there is a long tail left and it is skewed left. So the formula is that mode will be greater than median and mode. So this is one question, simple question asked following a statement to decipher the relationship between the measures of central tendency in a skewed data set. You know, in a positive skewed data set, mean will be greater. So P is correct. In negatively skewed distribution, mode will be greater. So S is correct. So P and S are the correct answer. So probability distribution. Probability distribution means frequency of distribution can be observed and experimentally determined by using measures of central tendency like central tendency, dispersion, skewness, and kurtosis. Okay, these are these are originally theoretical. Friends, I can take this probability distribution in my next video. So up to this we can study only skewness up to next my video. I'll upload the probability distribution. Thanks for watching my video, friends. If you like my content, click the like button. If you didn't subscribe to my YouTube channel, please click the subscription button below. Thanks for